as you go through this process, stop nitpicking all of these little decisions that you're making, because ultimately the answer is, it depends. The Old PreMeds Podcast, session number 342. Welcome to the Old PreMeds Podcast. My name is Dr. Ryan Gray, your host here every week, where I take your non-traditional questions and answer them here on the podcast. If you're watching on video, my eye is going crazy, so ignore my watering eye. If you're listening on the podcast, you do not have to see my eye watering, which is wonderful. Today, we have a wonderful question from a non-traditional student who's wondering about community college, which is a very common question that we get for non-trads, especially with just flexibility with scheduling. Before we jump into that question, though, I want to talk about the MCAT Minute, brought to you by Blueprint MCAT. Did you know, for you busy non-trads out there, Blueprint MCAT has a free, amazing study planner tool where you can go and put in your kind of estimated MCAT date, the schedule that you have, how much free time you have each week to study. Free time, what's that? Days that you know you can't study or take tests and all of that fun stuff. And the amazing study planner tool from Blueprint MCAT will create a customized study plan just for you. Go to blueprintmcat.com today. Sign up for that free account and get started. Go to blueprintmcat.com. All right, let's go ahead and jump into our question today. They say, hey there, Dr. Gray. Super grateful for everything you're doing for the pre-med community. You've helped me jump back into my journey when I thought all hope was lost. I love hearing that story. I hear it so much. As someone who went through school reading Student Doctor Network, oh no, I was amazed and relieved to find more people like me through your podcast. Some background. I am a non-traditional student supporting myself through a full-time scribing job, pursuing a do-it-yourself postbac through a local community college for both affordability and accessibility. Just a few extra science classes to increase my science GPA and hone my study skills, microbiology, biochemistry, etc. I already have my bachelor's degree in biology, but unfortunately have a small downward trend given my last 2 years of college were during the beginning and height of the pandemic. My undergraduate GPA was around a 3.3 cumulative, 3.2 science. Not looking for a major GPA shift, just something to show I've learned from my past mistakes. However, one of my pre-med advisors advised strongly against this and even seemed disgusted that I had started taking classes at community college. I've seen mixed opinions about how medical schools view community college courses, particularly after one has earned a bachelor's degree at a 4-year university. For someone like me who cannot afford courses through a 4-year university and can't afford to quit their job for a postbac, do medical schools actually care if you take postbac classes at a community college? All right, so let's discuss. It's interesting. This student seems to have kind of the information already in place. Yeah, there are going to be differing opinions on this, unfortunately. Unfortunately, we can't sit there as a community, as a species, and go, community college is not lesser than. Unfortunately, there are very snobby, hierarchical members in higher institutions that throw their nose up, throw their pinky out, and go, oh, community college, oh, I pity thee. And they think that you going to community college means that you are inferior. There is that opinion, and we cannot change their opinion, no matter how hard we try to beat it out of them. It is what it is. So what you have to do, what anyone has to do as they're going through this process, is understand that there are differing opinions, and that for the majority of people out there and schools out there, this is going to be fine. Yeah, you're going to get some questions, right? You may get some questions that says that ask, why did you do this? And you go, hey, I couldn't afford it. Hey, the scheduling worked better. I was working full time. I did X, Y, or Z. And the classes that were offered at the community college worked better. I couldn't afford to go to a formal postbac. I couldn't afford to do a non-degree seeking student at a 4-year university. I looked into it. I wouldn't be able to register for the courses that I needed, X, Y, or Z, right? As long as you have a reason for why you were doing this, then for the majority of schools out there, you're going to be fine. Yes, you will find advisors that are still kind of stuck on this old thought that all community college is bad for everyone and there's no exceptions. We can't change their opinion. There are institutions out there, Northwestern being one of them, I will call them out, that look down on community college courses, unfortunately. And so we can't do anything about it. You just have to understand there are 200 plus medical schools in this country. There are 200 plus admissions committees in this country. There are far more than that individuals on these admissions committees, running these admissions committees offices, reviewing applications that have no problem with you going to community college as long as you are proving yourself academically. And yeah, there may be a question in their mind, be like, okay, I see you struggled at this one school, you moved to this other school, right? We potentially have the same question mark if you go from an Ivy League institution and you transfer schools to a state school. There still may be that bias in the back of someone's mind that goes, well, you struggled here, but you did well there. Is it you or was it the school? Right? That's the question in the minds of these people is, are you proving yourself academically? Are you less of an academic risk? Or did you just go find the easy path? Did you go find a school that hands out A's to everyone? That's the question. And unfortunately, we just kind of lump in, all right, the bad people in this world, right? Lump in all community college with easy A. When in reality, a lot of times it's the same professor teaching at the four-year institution as it is at the community college. It's the same professor, the same syllabus, the same material, the same courses, the same book, everything, right? But we look at the institution because that's the world we live in. We live in a very hierarchical world in education, in academics. And we have it in medicine too, where the pre-med is less than the medical student's less than the resident, the resident's less than the fellow's less than the attending is less than the chair, right? We live in a hierarchical world in academics, in medicine. And that same mentality, that same attitude is thrown out everywhere. And so we have it in education with, oh, community college is less than four-year school. State school is less than private school. Private school less than Ivy League school. We have this same hierarchical crap that pre-meds and some advisors and some admissions committee members are still hold on to. And we still have that issue with, oh, DO is less than MD or whatever, right? Whatever it is, you will always find these biases. You will always find these judgments. You will always find these opinions that at the end of the day are trash. So as a non-traditional student specifically, you have to do what you can do. You have to do what fits your life. And at the end of the day, if it's community college that fits your life, fits your budgets, fits your schedule, whatever, then that's what you do. And then you apply to schools, you tell your story, and there will be some schools out there that won't like it. There will be plenty of schools out there that are fine with it as long as you can talk about it. That's it. That's all you can do with any of these decisions at the end of the day. Do what fits your schedule. Do what fits your life. Do what fits your morals and ethics and whatever that may be. Right? Same thing with picking activities. Same thing with picking whatever it is. So as you go through this process, stop nitpicking all of these little decisions that you're making, because ultimately the answer is it depends, right? It's going to depend on the school. Will they accept community college courses? I don't know. It depends. I have not seen a school in many years flat out say they will not accept community college courses. Now, there are schools out there that passive aggressively say that community college is less than in different language, like Northwestern. They do say that the rigor of the school, right? That is code for community college is lesser than. And I forget the exact language that they use, but I was emailing with them, and they basically, without saying community college is lesser than, are saying community college is lesser than. There are schools that are going to have that opinion. There's nothing we can do about it. You just got to do your thing. Okay? That's it. That's all you got to do. All right, I think I've beaten this one. I think we can end there. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully this was fun. Yeah, it is. It is what it is. Go do your thing. Go live your life. Go make the decisions that work for you. Apply to schools. Make it work. You'll do fine. Don't forget to check out blueprintmcat.com. They're amazing free resources. And check out medicalschoolhq.net, where we have one-on-one advising and group advising to help you get into medical school, help you with your essays, with your interviews, all of that fun stuff. medicalschoolhq.net. Have a great week. We'll see you next time here on the Old PreMeds podcast.